What's up guys, Dreaded Skater here, and today I'm going to be running through all the boards that I've had in the past 2 years, and I'm basically just going to be doing like a little review on each one of them. Not going to go too in depth, but just my experience with them and if I like them or not. And then I'm going to be ranking them, and yes, I'm still unable to skate and it sucks. It's been, I think, 3 whole weeks now, and I'm just ready to get back on my board. But this is a video I'd been planning to do for a while now, and since I am unable to skate, I feel like now is an appropriate time. And I'm going to do them from order of when I got to the United States to now. I'm going to do them all in order, and yeah, let's just hop into the first one. And the first board I'm going to go over is this board. This was a Baker skateboard. This was Cater's first ever pro model. And really, this board got me into YouTube because I filmed my first ever board setting up this board. And it really just made me want to start doing YouTube. To be honest, I don't really remember it. I feel like I wasn't even really that good at the time. But I remember the board lasting for a while. I'm not sure if that's just because I skated light or if it really did just last a while. And I remember this board having pretty good pop, and I just remember it being a good board overall. But I don't remember it being like my favorite thing ever. So I'd probably rate it like an average like 7 out of 10. Wasn't like the craziest experience, but it wasn't bad either. And I do think I would skate a Baker again. And the second board I had was this Jamie Foy Death Wish. And again with the Baker, it was about the same. I would say like a 7 out of 10. And this one, I'm actually very surprised did not razor tail like at all. And I think it's because I pretty much only skated park with this board. And I barely skated it because I was injured for most of the time when I had this board. But like, that's so crazy to me how little this razor tailed. Like, I'm pretty sure it was like that for the Baker too. So these things don't run out of pop, and that's really good. You know, I'm bumping these up to 7.5 because I forgot how good the tails are and they don't razor tail. So I'm gonna move these up to a 7.5. And this is about the same as the Baker. I'd probably skate it again. And since they are like partner companies, then it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I'm very surprised on how little this razor tailed. And then after those, I got these Get a Job skateboards, which was my local shop. I had this yellow one first, and then I had this blue one. And I'm not even gonna lie, these were some of my favorite decks I think I've ever skated. First of all, the shape is just very fitting for me. I like when the kicks are extremely mellow, and these kicks are pretty mellow. They're not extremely mellow, but they're just about where I like them. And also, the nose is pretty big on these boards. I can't lie, they do razor tail kind of quick, and it got very small. But the nose is pretty big, and I pop off the nose, and I really like having that big space to pop off of. So these, oh my gosh, these were probably one of the best experiences I've had with boards. And I'm really upset that the shop is now closed because I don't know where I can get these anymore. Hopefully I can find where they're made because these are really good decks. I think I'm going to give them like an 8.5, maybe a 9 out of 10. Because these are good. I'm gonna say 9. I'm going to say 9. After those Get a Job decks, I got this Weekend skateboard. And at first, getting used to this thing was kind of weird because it had a very long wheelbase, and it was kind of hard to get my tray flips around at the time when I first started skating it. But after I got used to the bigger wheelbase, I really, really liked the shape. You can't really tell anymore, but these had mellow kicks, and like I said earlier, I really liked the mellow kicks. All my tricks felt really nice, and when I skated this board, this is really when I started getting into skating rails. And this was one of my favorite boards for skating rails. I think I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. Just because the wheelbase was kind of weird to get used to. But after getting past that, bro, this deck was so nice. And it was extremely durable. But I do think it razor tailed kind of quick also. And after that Weekend deck, I got this DGK deck for the first and last time ever. So I had this board for about 3 weeks total. And this was the most expensive board I've ever had. And I do like the DGK graphics, but this board was just so weak, and I will probably never get another one to skate again. If I had to give DGK a rating, I'd probably give it like a 4.5, only because the shape was great. The shape was so good. My tricks felt so nice on this board. The board has to stay together for me to do the tricks, and it just didn't. I don't know. Maybe even a 4. Because I can't think of a deck I've had worse than this. Maybe even a I don't know. If we're saying like a 1 is like a Walmart board, then yeah, I think this is about a 4. After that very short time on the DGK, I got this 5 Boro. And this was such a good deck. The shape is just like so fitting for me. I love the shape. It was pretty strong too. I do remember it breaking kind of quick, but I really, really like the shape. And it didn't break like in 2 weeks. It was probably like a month, maybe like a month and a half. This was just such a good feeling board. All my tricks were just so on par when I was skating this board. And this is definitely another board that I would get again. I would have to give this probably a 9. A solid 9 out of 10. Then after that 5 Boro deck, I had an FA, which I don't actually have on me right now, but I'll put a picture of it up right now. And to be honest, it was a good deck. Like, it was strong. But the problems I had with it was it chipped quick and the shape wasn't good for my skating. So skating rail on it was actually really good, but I could not skate flat or have my flat tricks on that board. For some reason, I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't seem to get a lot of my tricks on that board. And then when I went to another deck, I was able to have them just fine. So it was a good board because I don't think if I tried to break it, I could, but it just wasn't for me personally. So for that, I'm gonna probably give it like a 7 out of 10. And then finally, I had 2 primitives, and I will probably never get primitives again. This board broke again in like 2 weeks. I didn't have this board for long at all. And then this board I think lasted 3 or 4 weeks, but that's still not like the best. I mean, I guess it was like a month, but it wasn't the best deck I've ever had because it also cracked really fast, but I made it last for a little bit longer. So, and these I'm pretty sure are the same distributor as DGK, and so I guess that kind of explains why I didn't like both of those decks. But again, I really like the shape of these primitives, but they just weren't strong. They didn't last long at all. So I probably won't get primitives again, and I'd probably give it, again, like a 4 out of 10. Maybe even 3.5, because I like these a little bit less than the DGK. Especially this one. I like this one, kind of, but this one just wasn't good. And right now we have my current board, which is a crooked, and as of right now, I'm really liking it. I've only skated it 5 times, though, because of my back, but the times that I've skated it, it felt really nice, and the first day of skating it, the pop was so good. And I just really like the shape of this board, and hopefully, when I get back on the board, I'll continue to like it. And yeah, those are all my decks from the past 2 years of skating. If I had to rank my top 3 boards, I got the Weekend at number 3, the Get a Job decks at number 2, and I got this 5 Boro deck at number 1. This board was really good. And if I had to choose the worst deck I've had, I would say it has to be this one. Even though this one did last longer than the DGK, I still feel like I like the shape of the DGK more than this one. So yeah, probably not going to get another primitive. But this is the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry for the lack of actual skateboarding in these videos, but I just can't. And I promise as soon as I'm able to get back on the board, I want to put out really good content. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Also, if you don't already, please follow me on Instagram at dreadhead.skater. And other than that, I post new videos every Monday, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. Peace out.